Mighty 790 and 1047 KFGO. Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us. My name is Dan Michaels. This is The Drive. Paulie Lines is our producer. You just heard Paul Juergens at the KFGO News Center. More news with Paul coming up here at the bottom of the hour, enjoying the Chantays and pipeline here, as we're going to talk about the shutting down of the Keystone Pipeline. The gentleman we're talking to this afternoon is quite an expert. Jack Haney has been in the financial markets for 25 plus years. Wildly heralded as an expert in his field. Born and raised in New York, Jack was a subscriber to the Wall Street Journal when he was only 14 years old. He went on to be the GM and director of sales at several algorithmic automated trading companies, trading the futures and commodities markets. Brokers out of Chicago, Geneva, New York City. Jack has risen up through the ranks over the years. And, he's written over $500 million in business and trades, maintaining outstanding relationships with his clients at Patriot Gold Group, which we'll find out more about. He is a senior partner. Jack resides in Los Angeles with his wife, Amy, and proud father of 2 daughters. And he joins us here this afternoon on KFGO to talk about the cancellation of the Keystone Pipeline. Good afternoon, Jack Haney. Welcome to KFGO.
Hey, Dan. Well, thank you for having me this afternoon.
So Jack was lamenting when we were talking on the phone just a few minutes ago, the Fed forecasting 2 rate hikes, but in the future, kind of wreaking a little bit of havoc with the stock market today. So as a guy in your position with the financial markets, et cetera, Jack, what does that do when the Fed says things like that?
Well, the dollar is rallying today on these remarks by the Fed that are indicating that substantial further progress is being made in our economic recovery. But I think if any of us here have stopped in a gas station or gone to the grocery store, we see that we're paying more at the pump, and food and fuel, as well as new construction home costs, have skyrocketed. And, this hyperinflation that we're seeing is not transitory. And it's a result of the trillions of dollars that have been printed, and especially this year alone, all these multi-trillion-dollar bills and legislation getting proposed by this administration.
So, Jack, is it the wrong direction to go to raise the rate? I mean, the rate's virtually nothing right now.
Well, the thing is, it's the only way to fight off the inflation is by raising rates. But the Fed's backed into a corner. And, as we see, and you brought up the Keystone Pipeline, now, that was responsible for tens of thousands of construction jobs, manufacturing jobs, and jobs in America. We already have, but because of these unemployment benefits, people are making more staying at home than if they were to return to work.
Yeah, those benefits are going to stop in North Dakota, I believe, at the end of the summer. I don't have a specific date on that. So let's jump in the Keystone Pipeline. You just mentioned what it's going to do to jobs. So what do you think is the economic impact of the cancellation of the Keystone Pipeline, the impact it'll have on the United States and Canada?
It's huge because not only about the tens of thousands of construction and manufacturing jobs, it's all about the U.S.'s energy independence. So now we're going to be more dependent on Saudi oil, Russian oil, and President Trump was on Varney and Co. just last week, and he had mentioned that when he left office, we had energy independence. Gas was $1.87 a gallon. If you look now, especially here in the state of California, gas is up at almost $5 a gallon. So we're looking at 3 times the cost of a gallon of gas. And, of course, in the summer months, with a post-COVID travel boom, when most Americans and families, want to go on road trips and want to travel and want to, get out of the house after 15 months of being quarantined.
So you're thinking that the cancellation of the pipeline will make us more dependent on other people's oil?
Oh, absolutely. Now, I mean, this would have moved 35 million gallons, 830,000 barrels of crude daily. So canceling this pipeline will certainly make us less energy independent. I mean, even, the Prime Minister of Canada, Trudeau, objected to the move. But not only the jobs, but also energy independence. The pipeline, we have to have energy independence.
The economist and CEO of the Patriot Gold Group, Jack Haney, is joining us today. We're talking about the impact of the cancellation of the Keystone Pipeline. So, Jack, what is your response to the people who protest pipelines, saying they're unsafe, or I really don't know what the difference is between a pipeline trucking your oil to market, putting it on rail. There's a chance for a catastrophe no matter what. We have to have the oil. So, Jack, what's your response to their protests?
Look, there's a bipartisan proposal on infrastructure in which the Republicans are proposing that it actually go towards infrastructure. So the concerns over a pipeline, the concerns over any trucking of oil really goes down to infrastructure. But you have to transport, petroleum, you have to transport oil, you have to transport fuel. We are oil dependent.
Yep.
And, it's just energy independence is going to be solely responsible, along with manufacturing jobs, for America's recovery.
Okay, exactly right. So oil has to get to market.
Of course.
The economy is based on it. Things will change as time goes by. Natural ways, solar, et cetera, will continue to grow. Wind energy is huge around our part of the world, of course. But in the meantime, and for the next several years, oil has to get to market. So doesn't it seem like environmental concerns notwithstanding, we're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot by not allowing ourselves to get our product to market? Or am I off base?
Not at all. And for the foreseeable future, keep in mind, with the higher gas prices, not only means are you paying higher gas prices when you're traveling or driving with the family, but you're paying higher food prices because your produce has to be transported to different supermarkets. And that is done via, 18-wheelers who rely on gas. So the same with lumber. Lumber has to be transported to different areas of the country in order to build new construction homes. So when you see gas prices triple, that trickles down into every area of your life.
So, Jack, you've been with the financial markets for 25 plus years. You are an economist. You're CEO of Patriot Gold Group. What is the outcome of the cancellation of the Keystone Pipeline going to do? What's your prognostication?
It's really just one of a multitude of policies that are being either canceled or then introduced by this administration that is, really creating this, job losses and our economy going from America first to America last. February of 2020, we had the lowest unemployment rate in 50 years. If you saw, the stock market was booming. Everyone was doing well. The economy was roaring. Sure, this was ahead of the pandemic, but all of the legislation and the bills being proposed by this administration, the cancellation of this pipeline, along with the COVID relief bill, the American Families Plan, the infrastructure bill, the $6 trillion budget, all of this is really hindering our economic recovery and our stature on the world stage.
So do you think it'll take longer for the economy to come back because of some of these things?
It already is. We have 9 million job openings right now. 9 million job openings. So, my wife recently traveled back east, and she said that there were very few employees working at the airport because they're making more at home than if they were to return to work at, the airport and hospitality and in travel, even restaurant jobs, even teachers. They say 1 in 4 teachers are going to quit after this year. You'd make more on unemployment than you would as a school teacher.
Well, that's not right. So, Jack, is there a way to have peace between pipeline protesters and those rational, normal people who recognize that we have to have oil get to market?
I just think that, listen, I know that there's a lot of people concerned with climate change and a younger generation, but you have to understand as well that we are still oil dependent, so there has to be a happy medium. You need to have these pipelines. It also creates jobs.
Right.
So, you do have to you have to arrive at a happy medium. You do.
So, Jack, on the way out here, tell us, you've been at this for a long, long time, and man, looking at your portfolio, $500 million in your career. Tell us about your company, how you help investors, and what do you do at Patriot Gold Group?
Well, primarily, clients of ours do a tax-free, penalty-free IRA rollover into a self-directed IRA backed by physical gold and silver, because as economist Stephen Roach forecasted, the U.S. dollar could lose 35% of its purchasing power this year. The U.S. dollar lost 12% of its purchasing power last year, and gold goes up 1.9% for every 1% the dollar pulls back, and silver goes up 3.3%. That's why gold was up 24% last year and silver 43.8%. So we have the 2021 Inflation Protection No Fee for Life IRA on minimum rollovers, and clients do tax-free penalty rollovers into self-directed IRAs backed by physical gold and silver, or purchase physical gold and silver for their homes.
And that's what they do at Patriot Gold Group. And our guest today has been Jack Haney, who's economist and CEO of Patriot Gold Group. Jack, thank you so much for your insight. We deeply appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Hey, Dan, thank you.
Thank you
as well.
Take care.
Thanks.
Jack Haney today, economist, talking about, we got to get that oil to market somehow. 422 at the Mighty 790 and 104.7 KFGO.
Smith Motors in Wahpeton wants to help you gear up for summer adventure. Beat the heat with one of our great vehicle options to meet every budget and purpose. Get a 2021 GMC Acadia Denali for $45,895. Get a 2021 Buick Enclave for $48,292. Or get a 2021 Chevrolet Equinox for $28,720. Hurry into Smith Motors in Wahpeton. Small town friendly, big town deals. Or visit them online at smithmotors.com.
Grilling meat over an open flame for a savory wood-roasted flavor makes Doolittle's a dining experience for all occasions. Join me at Doolittle's this Friday, 2 to 4, and enjoy Doolittle's Woodfire Rotisserie cooking for yourself. Doolittle's Woodfire Grill, 25th Street, South Fargo.
Turtle Fest in Perham kicks off Wednesday, June 16th through Sunday, June 20th. There's tons of fun for the entire family. Turtle races, a $500 medallion hunt, the Grand Parade, Main Street Vendor Fair, an all-city rummage sale, Trowbridge Zoo, fireworks on Saturday, and more. Also, music under the tent on Main Street featuring Tripwire on Friday, Tiki D, Zach Thomas, and 32 Below on Saturday. Plenty of food and drinks to go around, too. Go to Perham.com/TurtleFest for the schedule of events.
Traditional tobacco is sacred to American Indians, but cigarettes, chew, and vapes are not. They're addictive and poisonous, destroying our people with disease and cancer, bringing death and heartbreak to our families and our culture. But you can quit, and ND Quits can help. Protect our families, protect our culture. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW or go to ndhealth.gov/ndquits. Sponsored by the North Dakota Department of Health.
Welcome to Lisbon Happy Days, June 17th through the 20th from Devitt Plumbing. Proudly serving the Lisbon area for over 40 years. Contact Andy and Clint for installation, remodeling, and service. Enjoy the fun of Happy Days from your friends at Devitt Plumbing Lisbon.
This is your KFGO FM Minute. The Detroit Lakes Water Carnival is back July 9th through the 18th. Water fights, Bash on the Beach, the parade, and more. It's all back for the summer. This year's artists include Terry Clark and Clay Walker. To see a complete list of events or order your concert tickets, visit dljcs.com and click on the Water Carnival link. It's the preview sale at Star Fireworks. No fireworks shortages at Star. North Dakotans shop and pick up yours after the 27th. Wild Rice exit off I-29. Keep driving until you see the Star sign. Get fresh, go local. The Moorhead Farmers Market is open in the Moorhead Ace Hardware parking lot every Tuesday now through September 25th from 3:30 to 6:30. Find fresh produce and food-related products. Sponsored by American Crystal. Memory Fireworks, home of the Dakota and Memory Series. The best fireworks you can get for the best quality at guaranteed lowest prices. It's always Memory Fireworks. Now open off I-29 South Exit 56 with online shopping at memoryfireworks.com. And that's your KFGO FM Minute.
It's that time of year again, folks. The sun is shining and it's beautiful. It finally turned to summer. So come on over to A Cutting Edge where we can put some sparkle in your day. At A Cutting Edge, you get the